What's going on, guys? This is Josh, as always, with Vault Hunters Union. Thanks for stopping in here today to finally complete my computer build and do an unboxing of the new GeForce GTX 1080 Gaming Z Edition. This is the flagship model in the gaming twin Frozer line from MSI. There are other lines as well, but this is the cream of the crop for this one. There is the Gaming Edition, the Gaming X, and then the Gaming Z or Z Edition, depending on where you're located, Z or Z. This is the only difference in this one between this one and maybe the Gaming X is that it does have RGB lighting on this one. It also does have slightly higher clock speeds, although I'm told this will only give you an extra like 1 to 3 frames per second max under ideal conditions. The only reason I got this one over the Gaming X is because this is the one in stock. Anyone who's trying to get a GTX 1080 in Canada, specifically Ontario, knows that it is extremely hard to get your hands on. Newegg, it goes in stock and out of stock in about 15 minutes, so you have to really be on the ball. This is the one that was available when I looked after several days, so this is the one I got. So it was only about a $50 difference or so, but you know, I'm willing to eat that cost if I'm able to get my hands on the card sooner than later. Now this is going to be slightly overkill for what I have now. I currently have a 3440 by 1440, which is 1440p ultra wide at 60 Hertz, although my monitor overclocks to 70-75 Hertz on most days. So it is going to be overkill for what I need right now, but it is going to future-proof me a bit, so this will last me quite a long time with most games, and then if I upgrade to 4K or something like that in the future, I can even SLI this if I need to. So we're going to unbox this card today in this video, and take a look at the card, talk about the size, the specs, compare it in size to other cards, and then in a future video I'm going to be doing some benchmarks. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy and you want to stay tuned. So we're going to do the unboxing now. Let's get started. So as I do in all my unboxing videos, I am going to show everything, the entire recording. However, I'm going to speed up a lot of the parts that you don't really need to see, that don't really matter, just so you get the full experience. First thing here is just a box that's on top of the graphics card. This just has all the extras and things you'll need to get yourself started. The first thing is a quick start guide, which has the instructions on how to install it and what to do and in what order. We quickly throw that aside because we're guys. The next thing is the driver CD. I recommend you don't install the drivers off the CD. Just go off MSI's website to make sure you get the most up-to-date drivers right away. And then some stickers, and we're going to quickly toss this box aside and speed up time to look at the beast. And this is the GTX 1080 Gaming Z. Now this is just a thank you card, and it reminds you to go register the warranty, which I definitely recommend you do. Now this is the beast. So there's nothing else in that box. We quickly toss it off to the side. Just quickly wrapped up here in a little bit of little foil or plastic or whatever you want to call this. Not really hard to get out or anything. I'm just trying to get the right angle. And there she is in all her glory. Now there is a sticker on here that you have to remove before gaming. I don't really know why that's there, but it's definitely there. So we quickly rip that off, and here she is. So now that we have the card out of the box, I quickly want to talk about the size of this card. This is an absolutely gorgeous but massive card. In terms of dimensions, it's 279 millimeters long, 140 millimeters this way wide, and 42 millimeters deep. So it is absolutely massive. But this is an absolutely gorgeous card. Now another thing I want to show is the fans. You can see the fans have like a brushed surface on it, but you can see random patches of a smooth surface, and this is just a slight deviation in the pattern of the fan blades, and this is supposed to provide better airflow. So we're going to go ahead and install this card and have a look at what it looks like installed. Okay guys, so we've got the card in now. You can see that it really doesn't take up all that much room. Anyone that complains about the size of this thing clearly never really owned a big graphics card, because while it is big, it's not massive. I think some of the gigabyte ones and stuff are a little bit longer, but this one is basically it's definitely wider this way and a little bit thicker this way, but it's really not that bad. One thing I don't like about high-end graphics cards like this is why is always red and black a theme? It's like that with MSI, a bunch of others. Gigabyte's kind of gone orange, I guess, but for most other ones, the high-end cards, it's always red and black. That's fine for me because my RAM and everything is red, but for people who want to have like a yellow theme build, or a different color theme build. I know there's RGB lighting and stuff, but everything is still red, and it really kind of bugs me that people don't have the options. I think that's going to be something that might be out in the future. This different colored plating, so you can kind of customize the color a little bit more often. Now, another thing to take note of is that there is a slight bit of sag, but not a whole lot. This card is about 2.5 pounds. It's 1.119 kilograms, so it's almost 2.5 pounds. So it is quite heavy, so be aware of that. And if you have SLI setups and stuff like that, you may want to get some support to help keep that up. That's what she said. So coming around to the back of the card, I quickly want to talk about some of the specifications of this thing. There is one dual link DVI port. There is actually 3 display ports, and I think that's 1.4, but don't quote me on that. It's actually weird because there's DisplayPort, HDMI, which I think is 2.0. I'm not really familiar with the HDMI versions, to be honest with you. I use DisplayPort, but it's weird that there's DisplayPort, HDMI, DisplayPort, but I guess that's kind of the OCD in me. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that super professional quality, studio quality, Hollywood quality unboxing of that graphics card. Now I want to quickly talk about some of the specifications of this card. As with all the other 1080s, it has 2,560 CUDA cores. That's pretty much the standard. In terms of memory clock, it's around 10,108 megahertz, 10,100 or so, depending on the mode. There are 3 modes on this card. There's a standard mode or silent mode. Then there's the gaming mode and overclock mode. So in silent mode, you're going to get a 1607 megahertz core clock with 1733 boost clock with GPU boost 3.0. Gaming, the gaming mode is going to have a 1733 core clock with 1873 megahertz boost clock, and then OC mode is going to have 1771 megahertz core clock and 1911 boost clock. So I think the standard is going to be silent mode. Probably most people are going to probably use the gaming mode. Just because it is the best all around. You're not OCing, you're not pushing the card to its absolute limit. You are kind of giving a little bit of leeway. So you're sacrificing maybe 1 frame per second or whatever for better cooling, better temperatures, better performance overall. For dimensions, so we have talked about that. The power, there's an 8-pin and a 6-pin power. The power consumption of this card is 180 watts. It does recommend 500 watts. 180 watts is actually pretty crazy low. So it does recommend that you use a system with a 500 watt power supply to be able to use this card with other components. But that is going to be it for this unboxing in this video today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, please let me know. The next thing for me to do is just power this up, get it all set up, get it configured, and in another video, probably in a week or 2, I'm going to be doing some benchmarks and show you guys some of the frames per second. Again, I am on a 3440 by 1440 monitor, so my benchmarks are going to be somewhat limited, but I'm going to do my best for you. If you have any questions, I'll be here. Thanks for watching. Peace.